Hi, I'm Dr. Joe DeMarco, chiropractor and owner of OcraMed Health, and today's video is on injury prevention on squat day. Now, I'm 54 years old, and I've been lifting weights for a long time, since I was a kid, and I can tell you right now that I've never, ever been seriously injured when I've performed squats. And I contribute that to two reasons. One is I always pay close attention to my form, and I always try to use the best form I possibly can. And two, and this is what we're going to go over today, I always warm up properly when it's time to squat. And what do I mean by that? Well, I can't tell you how many times I'm in the gym and I see people begin their squat workout and they basically do one warm-up. I'll see them put on a 45 on each side, they do one warm-up set, and boom, by the second set, they're throwing all their weights on and they're doing sets of 2 or sets of 4 or sets of 6, and they jump right into their heavy squats. I don't see them do any type of warm-up, any type of mobility work. They just jump right into their heavy squats, and that's just a surefire formula for at some point getting injured. Now, you might be able to get away with that for a limited period of time, you know, when you're 18 or 19 or 20, but believe me, when you get into your 30s and 40s and when you hit 54, that stuff just doesn't cut it. You have to warm up properly. I'm going to show you how I do it, how I get ready to get into my heavy squat sets. So without wasting any more time, let's get right to it. Okay, so you're going to find that when you finally piece this whole warm-up together, you're not wasting a lot of time warming up. So don't think this is like a 20 or 30-minute procedure. I mean, I usually get this done. I'm warmed up and ready to go within 10 minutes. And I'll show you how I'm doing it. So first off, depending on what time of day it is, I mean, I'm going to make sure I just have some blood flowing. So whether it's just jumping on the treadmill for 5 minutes, or if it's the middle of the day and I'm already been moving around a lot, I may not even bother with that. But what I do start doing right off the get-go is I'll just spend a couple minutes. I grab my trusty Tai Chi ball from OcraMed Health that I always keep in my gym bag, and I use it to just stimulate blood into the muscles that I need to use to squat. So what I'll do is I'll take the Tai Chi ball and I'll just kind of like rub it across the erector muscles of the lower back, and I'll hit both sides on that, and I'll come around into the obliques, and I'll just stimulate some blood flow along the lower back and the oblique muscles. I'll get into the glutes with it, and just, you know, with some firm pressure, I'm just going to rub the ball around and just stimulate those muscles, stimulate some blood flow. I'm going to come up into here. Obviously, shoulders and upper back are a key component when you're squatting, because that's where the bar is. The arms have to go back, so I'll get the shoulders, I'll get into the upper traps, levator scapula, and I'll just get into those muscle groups, and I'll just rub that around, 30, 40 seconds in each area real quick, just to get the blood flow. I'll get the leg up. Obviously, I'll get in muscles of the leg. I'll get on the inside into the adductor muscles. I'll go up towards the groin area, obviously an area that can get injured easily, and I'll just kind of rub that Tai Chi ball all across the adductors. I'll come into the quadriceps, rolling into the quadriceps, especially right at the distal end of the quadriceps above the knee, and I'll spend a little time below the knee where the patella tendon is, which is oftentimes an area that obviously going to be, stress is going to be placed on it when we squat. Then I'll come across and I'll get into, the other leg, I'll get across the IT band, come in low where the IT band attaches into the top of the tibia, and just kind of roll that IT band with the ball, come up the IT band, come up into the top of it at the tensor fascial lata, and get some blood flowing in there. And then, of course, hamstrings, get up high on the hamstring attachments right below the glutes here, and then roll down. And I'm just rolling, as you can see, in all different directions along the hamstrings and all the other muscles, just to get blood flow. And then, of course, we don't want to forget the calves, and we're just getting blood flow through the gastrocnemius and down lower on the soleus. And then I'll even come into the front, into the tibialis anterior and the posterior tibialis on the other side. So I'll just spend a couple minutes just stimulating all the muscles that I know I'm going to need to be working for me when I squat. I want those muscles, I want blood flow in those muscles, and I want those muscles warm, and I want them ready to go when that bar gets on my back. All right, so we got some blood flow going with the Tai Chi ball. Now, before I even get into the squat rack, I'm going to just spend a few minutes on the ground. I'm going to do a little rolling. I'm just going to roll back. I'm going to roll back and forth. Just get that back a little loose. I'm going to come right over the top. I'll hang out here for a few seconds. I'll do a little straddle. Knees towards my face. And I'll just spend a couple seconds doing that. Most of the stuff I'm doing, it's very just dynamic motions. I'm not trying to like overstretch, overmove. I'm not trying to do any like crazy mobility work. I'm just trying to warm up and get everything loose. So I'll roll on my back a couple times, loosen that up a little bit. Then I'll get on my back again. And I'll just do a quick set of bridges, of 10 repetitions of bridges. And I'll just do them kind of dynamically, just 10 times. And then after I do that, I'll just do a quick set of 10 where I'll come up with a crunch as I come up with my knees for a quick set of 10. Get a little blood flowing this way. Then I'll turn and I'll go on all fours like this, and I'll just do some hip rotations. I'll come back and around with my hip, then back out and around, and I'll do this for 10. Then I'll go the opposite direction. I'll come out and stretch and go back in the opposite direction. Then after I do that for 10, I'll just come out to the side 10 times. And then of course everything we're doing on the right, we're going to do on the left. Then I'm just going to get down right on my stomach. I'm going to have my thumbs up. We're going to do some Supermans. I'm going to lift my legs and my arms at the same time, just dynamically, 10 times. Get that blood flowing. Okay. Now let's move from here. Okay, so I get done warming up on the floor a little bit, getting a little more blood flow going. Then I'm going to come over to the squat rack. I'm actually going to start my workout, but I'm going to be doing just some light stretching in between. Now, on the day that I'm doing my squat workout, that's not the day to work really hard stretching or mobility. Most of this is just about warming up and getting the blood flowing. So I'm going to go through some stretches as I'm warming up, but in a very kind of easy, relaxed way. I'm not holding them for very long, where normally I might hold a stretch for 30 or 40 seconds. I'm just kind of actually going through the motions and kind of dynamically stretching and warming up. So I'll come over to the squat rack. I always will start, I'll just grab the bar. I'm going to do a set of maybe 10 or 15 repetitions with the bar. Get warmed up, and then as soon as I rack it, I come over to the squat rack. I usually have my safeties here, and I'll do two different stretches. One is I'll just do like a hurdler stretch where I'll step forward up on the bar, and I'll stretch as far forward as I can. Now when I do that, I don't want my torso to drop because I want to stretch out some of these hip flexor muscles. So as I lean forward, I'm going to stretch my arms straight up like this and try to keep my torso straight as I come forward. So I don't want to be leaning forward like that. I want to keep my a nice stretch on those muscles that involve the hip flexors. So and I'll just hold that for literally like just a few seconds. I'll just come here, I'll stretch up for a few seconds. Obviously I'll switch legs and I'll hit the other side and I'll stretch this way. Like I said, just kind of dynamically for a few seconds. And then I'll take a step forward. I'll hook my back leg onto the safety back there, and I'll drop down into a lunge position. And as I do, I'll lean my buttocks back towards my heel. Now when I do this, a lot of times I'll just grab onto the bar, and again I'll stretch up as I'm doing this position. So I'm actually dropping buttocks to my heel and I'm dropping down. And I'm not holding it once again very long, just maybe 5 or 10 seconds. And then of course we'll switch it up, hook the opposite leg, step forward, drop down into that lunge position, drop the buttocks back to the heel, and be stretching, keeping that torso up nice and straight. I'll do those two stretches. I'll get to the bar again. I'll do one more set with just the bar for another, say, 10 or 15 reps. I'll come off the bar. I'll go through those two stretches one more time. Okay? So I've done 2 sets of bars, just non-weighted bar squats, and I've run through those 2 stretches twice. Then I'll move on to like my first like warm-up set, and I'll throw a 45 on each side. Now I'll do another set of, and like I said, obviously this is gauged towards your strength and where you're at squatting, so don't go by the weights I'm using. I'm just giving you an example of how I do it. I'll throw a 45 on each side. Now I'll do another set. I might do 10 repetitions with that. And then I move on to a little different type of stretching again, and I'll do 2 different stretches that I'm going to show you right now. All right, so now I'm up to the point where I have a little bit of weight on the bar. I just did a set with a 45 on each side. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to come down in between the safeties, and what I'll do is I'll actually get the toes pointing forward, feet about shoulder width apart, and I'll actually drop down as deep as I can into a squat, trying to stretch out the feet, the calves, the legs, the glutes, and I'll just kind of stay in this position, and I'll just start leaning forward. And what I'll do is I'm going to try to keep the heels from coming off, but at a certain point they are going to start to lift off the ground, and I'm going to let the knees come all the way forward. So now I'm stretching into this position, and I'll actually kind of just slowly kind of roll all the way back, let the heels come back down on the ground, come back forward again, let the knees touch forward, and I'll just do that a few times, just nice and easy. Okay, so we're almost done. Just to recount, so I've done a couple sets of squats with just the bar. I've done 2 sets of squats with a 45 on each side, and now I'll start adding a little more weight onto the bar. I'll do another set, and whatever, it depends on the day. I mean, maybe we'll go up to 185, 2 1/4, but I'll be just about getting ready to start my heavy sets. But I'll do one more set, like I said, we'll raise the weight up again, 185 to 2 1/4. And then I'll come off and I'll do a couple final stretches. I'll use the safety bar. I'll get the leg up. I'll line up more with my knee. My foot's off to the side, and I'm going to have my knee at about 90 degrees. And I'm just going to lean forward. So this is a stretch for the piriformis. It's going to stretch out the glutes. And I'm just going to lean forward just like that. And I'm just going to, like I said, we're not holding any of these stretches too long, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. I'm going to switch legs. Same thing, going to come down. So I might do it 2 or 3 times on this leg. I'll do it 2 or 3 times on that leg. Stretch out the piriformis, and I'll go back, and I'm ready to go. And that's just about it. That's all we're going to do. By the time I get to my working weight, and it depends on the day. I mean, there's some days that we're going to be, it's a heavier squat day where I'm going to be, working up to, 3 to 5 reps, 4 to 6 rep range. Other days, we're squatting, I might keep my reps 8 to 10. It doesn't matter. But by the time I get to my working weight for my workout, I am ready to go. I'm warmed up. Muscles are mobile. They're loose. I'm not going to get injured. I'm going to keep good form. You want to stay healthy. The key to working out and being successful at working out and building lean muscle is you need to train hard, stay healthy, and be able to come back the next day and train hard again. If you're getting injured, you're not going to make any progress with your training. So the 10 minutes that it takes you to go through this warm-up procedure, it's well worth investing the 10, even 12, 15 minutes that it might take. I usually can get this done in 10 minutes, but the 10 minutes I'm going to invest in warming up, it's 10 minutes that's going to ensure that I'm going to stay healthy, and I'm going to come back the next day and I'm going to train hard again. All right, so there you go. There's my injury prevention warm-up on squat day. Start using it. If you have some stretches of your own, the key is to just get warm. It's not about working on your mobility. Those aren't right before you're about to squat is not the time to start doing deep fascial rolling, 30, 60-second stretches. It's just about going through the motions, everything in a dynamic motion, in a dynamic manner to get warmed up, get the joints loose, get the muscles warm so that you can get to your training weight and be absolutely warmed up, and you're going to prevent injury. So work on that. If you're looking for a fitness program that's going to build lean muscle without the bulk in a safe and effective manner, just like I was showing you how we train here, then you want to go to my website, www.OcraMedHealth.com, where I'll customize a program just for you. Also available on my website is the Accommodation Avoidance System ebook. It's about heavy weight. It teaches you how to train heavy and avoid training plateaus. And also our mobility plan. You pick the body part. I will send you a personalized video of how to stretch, roll, and increase the mobility to that area. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to my channel, OcraMed Health on YouTube. Questions about exercises or injuries, just leave a comment in the comment section below because I always get back to everyone who writes in. And don't forget, OcraMed Health is here to keep you fit forever.